Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Excel Sessions, and today we will learn 12 is functions used in Excel. Is function is used to get information about a value or formula before performing a calculation or any other action with it. We use this function with if statement, VLOOKUP, index match, and other Excel functions to handle the errors, and we also use in conditional formatting. To understand the actual use of these is function, watch the video till end. You can download this file for practice from the path mentioned in the description section of the video. All is function takes only one parameter and returns true or false, depends on the value. In this sheet, column B have data of different data types. We will apply the is formula on the data and identify what each function will return. So let's start. Is blank function returns true when the value is blank. To apply is blank formula, type equals to is blank, open bracket, select the cell, closing bracket and press enter. The result is false because cell is not blank. B7 is blank. So if we apply the is blank formula for B7, type is blank, open bracket, select B7, closing bracket and press enter, the is blank function will return true. If we copy the formula in remaining cells for other data types, the function will return false because the cells contains the data. ISERR and ISERROR functions return true when value refers to error. The difference is that ISERR returns true for any errors except -na, whereas ISERROR function returns true for all errors. We use both ISERR and ISERROR function for error handling. To use ISERR, type equals to ISERR, open bracket, select the cell B3, closing bracket and press enter. Now B3 cell contains the text and it is not returning any error, so the function returns false. From B9 to B12, I have used some functions which is returning error. So if we apply the formula is a open bracket, select the cell B9, closing bracket. Now because the B9 returns error, but is error returning false because is error doesn't handle #any error. But if we apply the same formula for other errors, it will returns true. If I copy the formula for all other cells where the value doesn't return any error, the function will return false. Similarly, if we apply ISERROR function, type equals to ISERROR, open bracket, select the cell. Now B3 is containing text type of data. It is not returning any error. Hence, closing bracket and when we press enter, the function will return false. But again, the only difference between ISERROR and ISERROR is that ISERROR will work for #na also. So if we apply the formula for #na error, type ISERROR, open bracket, select the cell, closing bracket and press enter, it will return true. Similarly, if I copy the formula for other errors, it will return true. Copy the formula for other cells which is not returning any kind of error, the function will return false. So you can see the difference between ISERR and ISERROR is that ISERR returns false for #any kind of error and ISERROR will return true for all the errors. ISNA function will return true for #na errors only. So remember, ISERR function returns true for all errors except #na. ISERROR function will return true for all errors. ISNA returns true only for #na errors. So if we apply the formula for #na error, type equals to ISNA, open bracket, select this cell, closing bracket and press enter. The function will return true. If I copy the formula for other errors, the function will return false. Similarly, if I copy the formula for others cells which contains different data types but not any kind of error, the function will return false. IsLogical function returns true if the value refers to a logical value, means true or false. For any other value, whether it's a number, text, date, or error, the function will return false. To apply the isLogical formula, type equals to isLogical, open bracket, select the cell, closing bracket and press enter. Because B3 contains a text type of data, it returns false. If we apply the formula for a Boolean value or for a logical value, so cell B8 contains a logical value. To apply the formula for B8, type equals to is logical, open bracket, select the cell, closing bracket and press enter. The function will return true. If I copy the formula for in other cells, it will return false. Is non-text function returns true when the value refers to a non-text value. Means for number, date, error, blank cells, the function will return true, and if the value is text, the function will return false. The B3 cell contains a text, so if I apply the is non-text function, open bracket, select the cell B3, closing bracket, press enter, the function will return false. But when I copy the formula and apply to other cells, that means for other data types, the function will return true because other cells does not contain text value. IsText function is opposite to the isNonText function. It means IsText function will return true when the value is a text type. For other type of data, it means for numbers, date, blank cell, logical or errors, the function will return false. To apply the isText formula, type isText, open bracket, select the cell, closing bracket and press enter. The function will return true. If I copy the formula and apply in other cells, that means we are applying the formula for B4 to B12, the function will return false because the B4 to B12 cells contains data type other than text. So if the output is different for is non-text and is text function. Is number function returns true if the value is a number or a date type. To apply the formula, type equals to is number, open bracket, select the cell, closing bracket and press enter. Because B3 cell contains the text type data, hence the function returns false. If we apply the formula for a cell which contains number type data, type equals to is number, open bracket, select the cell, closing bracket and press enter. The function will return true. Similarly, if I copy the formula for other cells, the function returns true only for number and date type data. Remember, blank cell is neither text nor number type. Hence, both is text and is number returns false for blank cell. IsEven function returns true if value is a even number. For odd numbers, function will return false. Blank cell is considered as 0 when doing any calculation. Hence, is function will return true for blank cells. For all other types, function is even will return error. B3 cell contains a text. To apply is even, type equals to is even, open bracket, select the cell, closing bracket and press enter. The function will return an error. If we apply the formula for a cell which contains a number, the function will return true or false, depends on the number. So select B4, closing bracket and press enter. Because B4 cell contains an odd number, its function will return false. Similarly, if we apply the formula for B5, which contains an even number, the function will return true. Remember, blank cells is considered as 0 while doing the calculation, hence it returns true because 0 is a even number. For all errors, it will return the same error. For other types, it will return error. Hence, for text type, for logical type, the function will return error. For errors, the function will return the same error. For even numbers, the function will return true, and for odd number, the function will return false. Similarly, ISODD function will return true when the number is odd, and the function will return false when the number is even. For other data types like text or logical, the function will return error. To use ISODD, type equals to ISODD, open bracket, select the cell B3 which contains a text type data, closing bracket. If you press enter, the function will return an error. If we apply the formula for a cell which contains a number, type cell B4 which contains an odd number, the function will return true. But if we apply the formula as odd, open bracket, and select the cell which contains an even number, the function will return false. The date can be converted to a number format also, hence it will check whether the number is even or not. If we apply as odd function to date format, the function will return true or false. The blank cell is considered as 0, hence is odd function will return false for a blank cells. For other data types like Boolean, it will return hash value error. For errors, it will return the same error. ISFORMULA function will return true if the cell reference is a formula, else it will return false. To apply the ISFORMULA function, type equals to ISFORMULA and select the cell reference. Now, B3 cell does not contain any formula. It's a simple text. Hence, the function will return false. If we see the data in column B, B3 to B7 does not contain any formula. So, if we apply the formula for a cell which contains a function or a formula, type equals to is formula, open bracket, select this cell, closing bracket and press enter, the function will return true. Similarly, if I copy the formula for other cells which will check the reference of B10, B11 and B12, the function will return true because B9 to B12 contains a formula. For other cells, if I copy the formula, it will return false because the cells does not contain a formula. It's a simple number, date, or text type. ISREF function will return true if value refers to a reference. If we use a cell reference, sheet reference, or any parameter used in name manager, the function will return true. If we simply pass a text or any number, then the function will return false. So to apply the formula, type equals to is ref open bracket, and if we pass any cell reference, then the function will return true. If we use function is ref and pass a simple text, then the function will return false. Similarly, if we use isref function and pass any number, then also the function will return false. And if I use isref and pass any parameter or variable used in the name manager, then the function will return true. Now let's understand how is function can be used with if statement. To learn how to use if statement or nested if statements, watch my these two videos. Now in this example, we are showing half of the number entered in C2 cell. So to show the half of the number entered equals to select C2 divided by 2. So this function will give you half of the number entered in cell C2. Currently it's showing 0 because C2 is blank. If I enter 12 in C2 cell, C4 will show half of the number, which is 6. But if I enter any text value in the cell C2, the function used will return an error. Now to handle this error, we will use is function with if. Now in cell C5, we will check whether cell C2 contains a number or not using isNumber function. So type equals to if open bracket. Now we will check whether C2 contains a number or not. So we will use isNumber function, open bracket, select C2, closing bracket. Now if this function isNumber will return true, which means that C2 contains a number, we will show the half of the number. If the function returns false, that means C2 does not contain a number, then we can show blank value or a custom message. So I'm showing a custom message. Show a message in double quotes, closing bracket, and press enter. Because a text is entered into C2, it is showing not a number. So in this way, we can handle the error. If we use any number in C2, then both will return the half of the number. The same error can be handled using ISERROR function. We will use ISERROR function with if statement, type equals to if open bracket. Now ISERROR will check whether the function used is returning an error or not. So we will use ISERROR and then we will use the function which is C2 by 2 closing bracket comma. Now if this function ISERROR returns true, that means C2 by 2 is returning an error, then we will show a custom message or a blank value. So I'm showing blank value. If the function ISERROR returns false, that means there is no error in calculation, then we'll show the result using C2 by 2. Closing bracket, press enter. Now, because 46 is entered into C2, all the three is showing half of the number. But if we enter any text, then C4 is showing an error. But due to the isNumber function, cell C5 is showing a custom message. And due to ISERROR function, cell C6 is showing blank value. In second example, we are showing student name and their marks in column A and B. In F3 column, we will enter the name of the student, and column F4, F5, F6 and F7 will show the marks of the student using Vlookup functions. If I enter the name of a student A, F4 is showing the marks of student A. Now, if I enter any student name which is not available in the list, the function VLOOKUP will return hash an error. To handle this error, we can use ISNA or ISERROR function. To use ISNA, type equals to if open bracket ISNA open bracket. Now type the VLOOKUP function which you want to check whether the function will return error or not, comma. Now, if this function VLOOKUP returns error, ISNA will returns true. It means we have to handle the error. So we will show a custom message not in the list, comma. If VLOOKUP is not returning any error, that means ISNA will return false, then we will show the number using VLOOKUP function. Closing bracket and then press enter. Now the cell F5 is showing the custom message. If we enter any valid name in F3, then both F4 and F5 will show the marks of the student. Similarly, we can handle the error using ISERROR function. To use ISERROR, type equals to if, then is error, open bracket, VLOOKUP function, closing bracket, comma. Now, if VLOOKUP will throw any error, is error function will return true. In that case, we will show a custom message or we can show blank cell. So I'm showing blank value, comma. And if VLOOKUP function is not returning an error, that means is error function will return false, then we will use VLOOKUP function to show the marks. Closing bracket and press enter. Now it's showing the marks obtained by student E. Now if I again enter any invalid name, F4 is showing hash an error, F5 is showing a custom message, and F6 is showing a blank value. In this way, we can handle the errors. Now, ISERR function can't handle the hash and error. Hence, if we use this, it will throw the same error as we are getting in F4. I'm uploading the sheet for your practice. I'm leaving it blank so that you can practice and try ISERR function and comment in the comment section. In this sheet, I have used number, text, formulas to create the dataset. And in this sheet, we will use is function with conditional formatting. Now to highlight only the odd numbers in the dataset, we can use ISODD function with the conditional formatting. So select the dataset, go to Home tab, Conditional Formatting drop down, and then click on New Rule. Select the last rule and type equals to is odd, open bracket. Now select the first top left cell of your dataset, which is B2 in my case. Closing bracket, click on the Format button, select the font color and the fill color, click OK, click OK. All the odd are highlighted with the selected color. Similarly, to show all the text values in the dataset, we will use ISTEXT function. Again, select the cell, go to the Home tab, click on Conditional Formatting drop down, click on New Rule, select the last cell and type equals to is text, open bracket, again select the top left cell of the dataset, B2, closing bracket, click to format, select the fill color and select the font color, click OK, and now all the text value are highlighted with the selected colors. Now I have added two more sheet for the exercise. Do the exercise and share your feedback or queries in the comment sections. In this video, we have learned how to use is functions in Excel. If you like the video, press thumbs up and share with your friends and colleagues. Subscribe the channel and press bell option to get notification for new videos. Thank you.